clearly we're going to discuss in the opening segments the Hunter Biden verdict and what that means and what it does not mean. It does not mean that Hunter Biden's heading to jail. Frankly, I do not believe that Hunter Biden will ever see a jail cell. Whether he should see a jail cell or not is up for debate, but I do not believe that he will, as he is a quote-unquote first-time offender. I think he's much more likely to see jail time for the secondary case that's coming up next year regarding his tax problems. Joe Biden, the president or resident of the United States of America, has now given a statement saying, "Oh yeah, I'm not only a president, I'm also a father," and so he's offered some of his comments. We'll get to those in a moment, and the Trump campaign has stepped out. Called the guilty verdict in the Hunter Biden gun trial a distraction from what it said are the real crimes of the Biden family. According to Trump campaign National Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, I do not know, but there it is. It shows you how much out front Donald Trump truly is, that I don't know who his press secretary is. But that said, this trial has been nothing more than a distraction from the real crimes of the Biden crime family, which has raked in tens of millions of dollars from China, Russia, and Ukraine. Crooked Joe Biden's reign over the Biden family criminal empire is coming to an end on November 5th, and will never again a Biden will sell government access for personal profit. Hunter Biden was found guilty of making false statements in the purchase of a gun, making a false statement related to information required to be kept by a federally licensed gun dealer, and possession of a gun by a person who is an unlawful user or addicted to a controlled substance. It has to do with the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms form number 4473, a form that I just so happen to have pulled up here on my handy-dandy laptop computer. I understand that I think differently. For better or worse, I think differently. And over the course of the trial, Hunter Biden's guilt has never been in question for me. Hunter Biden was guilty, clearly, of engaging in the taking of illegal drugs at the same time that he said that he was not taking illegal drugs. He lied on a gun form. And so, obviously, the justice system has worked in this case, regardless of the last name of the individual involved in the prosecution's allegation, accusation, and criminal charge. The system worked. What I want to do is back this up a little bit and ask you a very serious-minded question with regard to whether or not this should be a concern of the federal government's at all. Now, I understand that you want to keep guns out of the hands of criminals. But there's a question for that on the form that has nothing to do with the use of drugs. I understand that we don't want the sale of drugs through a federally licensed dealer, or rather the sale of guns through a federally licensed dealer, to go to someone that's engaged actively in criminal drug activity. I also understand that American citizens have rights. Let me ask you this question. Did you know that in the state of Colorado? Well, I'll do it this way. Bell, you over there? You standing by patiently?
Yep.
Okay, very good. I know you got like 14 things going on, especially with me out of studio. So, Bell, just a couple of questions, quick questions. Is it legal to purchase marijuana in Colorado?
Yes.
That is legal. Okay. Is it legal to consume your purchase in the privacy of your own home in the state of Colorado?
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, now, set that aside for a minute. So just forget I just asked those two questions. Now, Bell, is it legal to purchase a gun so long as you meet certain criteria? You know, you're not a felon, et cetera, those basic standards. Is it legal to buy a gun in Colorado?
Yes.
Okay. Is it legal for you to legally purchase marijuana, go home and legally smoke it, let's say on a Saturday, and then go to the gun store on a Wednesday and purchase a gun? Is that legal?
No.
It is not legal, and I want to know why. Bell, by the way, congratulations, gold star for you.
Thank you.
Very good. Why is that the case? Did you know that the federal government makes no exception for the fact that several of the states, many of the states, as a matter of fact, have made marijuana use a legal activity in their states? However, the federal government, against the Constitution of the United States of America, suspends your ability to purchase a gun if you choose to partake in what is otherwise a legal activity in that state. How is that federalism? How is that right? I fear that in the spirit of, and it's easy to play on the emotions of people when you have drug issues, when you have our southern border issues, when you have all of these other things going on. I understand how easy it is to get something like this on a federal firearms form. But I have a question, a lot of questions about question 21F. Question 21F is the one that Hunter Biden lied about. And once again, in terms of the law, in terms of, what he did, how he answered it, did he lie, is that permissible, all of these things, I have no issue with the outcome of the case. But I'm beginning to suggest to you, and I know it's going to freak some of you out, I'm beginning to suggest to you that if I was on that jury, I might have acquitted him. I might have found him not guilty. Not because I don't believe that what he did was a violation of the law, because I disagree with the question on the form. And jury nullification, while it is extracurricular to what is appropriate in a courtroom, it is a perfectly reasonable thing that happens from time to time in our American criminal justice system, where a juror will decide that despite recognizing that the individual violated the law in question, I have a fundamental disagreement with the law itself. And I'm not saying I'm there yet, and I could be convinced to go another way, but I'm beginning to wonder why all of these questions are on this firearms form to begin with. I understand background checks. I understand mental evaluations. I understand if you commit a felony, if you violate the rights of other people, why we would then suspend certain rights for you. But if you're engaged in an otherwise legal activity in the state of Colorado or many, many other states across the United States of America, how is it that the federal government can still suspend a basic constitutional right of yours? 615-737-9986. That's our telephone number. That's the super text number. Would love to hear from you during this libertarian lunch. We're at the Southern Outpost. It's the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.